I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 Going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 I'll keep going till my feet become blown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 Going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my till my speakers come blow.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't it Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better day.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Kidia.
Good evening, welcome back on into another day of ESL Challenger League. It is season 50 of Oceania and we are into cup number 4. Getting quite deep into cup number 4 as well. It's Elfishkai and Pilski back again after last night. It was a bit of a drubbing that we got to watch. Rooster dominating Mind Freak does put them through into the lower bracket final, but we're all about the upper bracket final tonight, Pilski. It is SemperFi and Ground Zero. Some might say SemperFi is Oceania's best Counter-Strike team at the moment. What would you say?
It's pretty hard to go past FlyQuest, but SemperFi pretty decent too, has to be said. I don't know. I haven't got a chance to really watch Ground Zero play too much, actually, with this roster, and especially since, you know, this storied org within our region has come back out of obscurity. I didn't even know that they were, like, alive anymore, and they are once again fielding themselves a Counter-Strike team. So, look, we'll see how they can go in this upper bracket game against SemperFi, but SemperFi undoubtedly should be the favorites to win themselves another cup and probably go through to Pro League, right?
Yes, I would agree with you on all counts. Ground Zero, though, being able to make it through to this upper bracket final, they'll be very happy with that. Obviously, I think I would argue easier road, obviously, with the fact that Rooster were knocked down into that lower bracket earlier on in the bracket, meant that they had to play against Mind Freak. That feels like it should be on paper a much more achievable game, and obviously in this instance it was, as they picked that one up 2-1. So see how they go today up against SemperFi. But historically speaking, unfortunately, there's not a lot of positives to actually say for Ground Zero in this particular matchup. I think you have to go back a good sort of 4 months or so to see the last time that they even took a map off of SemperFi, and that was a very different SemperFi roster. And, you know, at the time, I feel like Counter-Strike was in a bit of a different place. But certainly nowadays, more recently, SemperFi have really consolidated themselves as the top team in the region. And there's no real question about that. Even with the additions of Hazard and Adit coming in, you'd imagine that it shouldn't make much of a difference. It should be a very, very comfortable win for SemperFi, as they have been pretty much steamrolling everybody. We'll have a look at the map veto here. We've been seeing a lot of Mirage between these two teams in the previous matches, so we'll see if that gets pulled through in any way, shape or form. But it is going to be Inferno and Ancient as the opening couple of maps.
See what the decider will be. Nuke goes out, so you are right. We're going to see Mirage again if it makes it to 3. Given the history of this matchup, might not be the case, but hoping that Ground Zero could come out swinging tonight. I think it's good to see them, you know, we'll see what they're kind of going to bring on this particular matchup. I think as the team that's like lost it a couple of times, you'd expect them to kind of change up the veto or do something a little bit different compared to the last times that they had played. But by the same token, hopefully they've worked on things a little bit and they can try to put together a bit more of a competitive match here. Yeah,
no, I mean, I would agree. I look at the match history for these two teams, and it does sort of seem like Ground Zero are trying to mess around with the veto a little bit. Like I said, we've obviously been seeing quite a bit of Mirage in the pool, but as far as the pick coming through from Ground Zero, you know, they've angled towards a couple of different ones. We've seen the Nukes in there, we've seen the Dust 2s in there, we've obviously seen the Ancients in here as well, Infernos coming through in this instance. There was actually an instance of a map pool that was this exact map pool as well, Ancient, Inferno, and then Mirage. Now that didn't actually require the Mirage as the decider. It was a 13-6, 13-3 affair back in September, so only about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. It's, I mean, look, again, to be fair, we'd be really struggling to find ourselves any positive maps in the match history, unfortunately, for Ground Zero. But in saying that, you know, we'll, I guess, give them another crack and see if they can make something happen. There has been some close maps here and there, one of which was the Inferno at the Extreme Zone qualifier. They did play that one, was an OT. But again, you know, if you haven't taken a map off of SemperFi in over 4 months, then that is not a particularly enticing sign tonight for Ground Zero. We'll see, though, if they can find a way to step up here as we do head into our first map of the day. SemperFi, Ground Zero taking one another on Inferno, and that, of course, being the map pick of Ground Zero. Does mean that it's the map choice, or side choice, I should say, for SemperFi. So Ground Zero ends up on that T side, getting themselves ready to once again test themselves against the Giants of Oceania.
Does seem like some movements in towards Banana early on. A little bit of pressure put on by Damio. Just storming up, seeing if he can cause a little bit of reaction. While the rest of Ground Zero do creep their way into apartments. Two-man setup, ready to deal with any pressure over on that side of the map. And an off angle for Keen on top middle.
Keen, nice start. Gets the headshot opener onto Apoc Dud. So already Ground Zero suffering a little bit at the hands of the firepower of SemperFi. It's all come together. USP headshots all over the place. And an easy pistol for SemperFi.
Yeah, pretty quick, pretty clean. Not a single kill or a bomb plant connected there for Ground Zero. It's a bitter way to start your campaign here on Inferno. See if they are going to opt for some kind of tech force here, or they just want the full Glock save into rifles, light armor. See if they have some kind of cheeky little strat that could maybe steal them a plant here. Would definitely help bolster their first buy.
Don't know how they're really going to achieve a bomb plant here with just 5 Glocks. Maybe if they had a smoke or a flash or 2 or something like that to get them anywhere. I might give them the benefit of the doubt, but I feel SemperFi is too good of a team to let a bomb plant happen in a round like this.
Just creeping around in second mid. Taking things relatively slowly. See if there's going to be any degree of CT aggression here. Most of it coming over here on Banana, just establishing that control and playing the ranges with the rifles. Pretty standard stuff.
Azza. Patient as ever. And does have the backup of Savage as well, who's holding on to, I believe it was a smoke, but actually I think it might have been a flash in the end there. As, there we go. There's the couple of assists for Savage, plus the couple of kills. Fantastic round in the end. MP9 lost, but that's all good. SemperFi very happy with the proceedings so far.
Yeah, not losing too much anti-eco. Always going to be quite happy with that. Into the first gun round here for Ground Zero, though. Damio, the only one to forego an AK for a little bit of extra util. That's going to force Ground Zero to skip a fair few flashes here. Only 2 flashes to work their way through the map, so going to be harder to kind of breach the B-side defense or maybe contest half wall. Flash your way up onto Divider. Going to have to rely a little bit more on some dry contact. Finding some good timings.
Nice start for Addict. Maybe not so much for Ground Zero. Painful, painful affair. Thus far for Ground Zero, as Addict is going to be able to strike for another one. And I mean, today it does not really feel like Ground Zero is cutting the mustard against SemperFi thus far. I know it's early days, but these rounds have really not looked close so far. There's one back. So there's some resistance being shown by PZ, the only player on Ground Zero so far to find a kill.
Michela. It's going to go for a cheeky little boost to clear out Sandbag here. Vision hanging around in middle still. Nothing being given for SemperFi. They're quite happy to sit back with the man advantage. Rely on the utility to trade down with the Ts. See if they can punish them when they make a further move into the site later on.
Alright. That's unfortunately going to make life a little bit more difficult for Ground Zero. Good spam, great spam, in fact, from Addict, as he even gets a little bit of a tickle there onto PZ. Bomb plant not denied by Savage, and Addict does go down in the meanwhile, but even still, to have the 3-on-2 retake, and now it's a 1-on-3 for Vision to try to negotiate. Flash is going to go forward for Keen. They'll all swing off the back of it. Savage gets the job done. 3-0 for SemperFi. They are making it look easy tonight. And I've received the intel as well, Pilsky, that Shady and Keen are currently playing from New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Taking a little bit of a holiday, wow.
Yeah. These guys, I mean, I feel like they're living on a holiday, really. It seems like their life's a holiday, you know? All I ever see on Keen's Instagram page is like shirtless mirror selfies, holiday photo, shirtless mirror selfie, holiday photo, bicep photo, holiday photo. So he's living the good life.
Right. Sounds like you're paying a lot of attention to Keen's biceps.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, he is him, you know, so...
Right, gotcha. Look, some people come down in this neck of the woods to, you know, pick berries or work in hospo, and some people come down under to shoot some heads. And in this case, that's what the Latvians are doing here. I've had a lot of success in these Challenger Cups. And I think some of the qualifications you've already seen from them, plus that Pro League qualification, would make that time investment a little bit worth it. Some util being invested over here towards the B side of the map. I'm not sure that smoke towards sandbags went where they wanted it to. The coffin smoke not quite connecting for the T's there. But that was never the main game plan. Sleeping in towards jungle side, and that's catching Addict on that library cross, putting a lot of pressure on Shady now.
I don't think Shady's going to be too concerned about it, mate. He is all over it. Does get the backup of Keen as well, and that's going to be a two-man spray down too. So even when it looks like Ground Zero get themselves into a semi-workable position, still SemperFi are able to bail themselves out of trouble in a sense. There's going to be the push through the smoke. Savage gets aggressive. That's a little bit greedy, but it works out. They must have been aware that that transition was still coming through from Damio and that the bomb site player was going to be isolated. There's nothing Damio can do now. And SemperFi get themselves a fourth.
So far, able to pass the test. A nice, like, structured, multi-layered play with the Tech 9 to try to get something going for Ground Zero there. Definitely had a decent timing, especially when they were able to find Addict on the rotation through Arch side. But outside of that, just not quite able to actually close out the round itself. Now back onto the guns. After a little bit of press on the CT economy, nothing to really write home about. See if they can break this dry spell on the T side.
Well, Keen down early on in the piece. First time that Ground Zero have had the opening kill in this map. And they're going to quickly try to take advantage of that by working brackets early in the round. Put a bit of that pressure back on the shoulders of SemperFi. Try to force out some of that CT util early.
Yeah, especially with the man advantage. A lot committed over towards that B side of the map, which puts a fair bit of weight on Shady's shoulders. Quick rotations coming back out, though. And it seems like the CTs are going to make it to this neck of the woods in time before this actually ends on the A site. Really just feels like Ground Zero holding on to a lot of their utility, drawing what is left out of the CTs and waiting for a mistake. The peak on jungle side, though, despite the fact that the AWP was posted up there, still goes against the Ts.
Yeah, Savage getting away with a lot there. Has brought it back to the 4-on-4. 40 seconds left on the clock. He still has to keep a bit of an eye on jungle now, particularly with Addict having gone down. And does attempt to spam, but this time not going to be successful with any real damage there. So this round is entirely on the shoulders of Shady right now. He's done a good job to get the first, but can't do any more than that. Everybody else is smoked off. And so this should be the first round for Ground Zero. You'd probably think that SemperFi will save here, although they do have the money to consider going for this, so they maybe get themselves... Oh, which they have. Maybe they're going to be keen for it. Savage is hitting everything at the moment. He's 6-0. Flash has gone over the top. Damio doesn't have to do anything. Vision gets it done. That kill from Savage is just a bait in the end for SemperFi. First round on the board for Ground Zero.
Well, jiggle pre-fire, one tap. Not much they can really do in that position from PZ. AWP was retained for him, though, so it's the small things, really. Only limited T surviving, though. Reducing the loss bonus by 1. Only 1 CT surviving, so an important swing round for both sides as we head into round number 6 here. A little bit or more of a emphasis on this B side of the map, and already right at the start of the round, you're seeing Savage set up from Coffin's side for some supportive utility.
As up. Set up patiently behind the smoke. Knows he's got backup behind him as well, so he's going to stick around for this fight should it eventuate. He is aware of Apokdud close. He's heard those ticks. He actually picks up Damio as well. Wasn't even aiming at him. He just wanted that kill on Apokdud, but he's picked up 2 for his trouble. So again, Ground Zero try to test Banana, and again, the Banana fights back, Pilski. That's the worst.
I know, man. All you wanted was, you know, bananas on toast, a little bit of peanut butter, and you're getting punched in the face by Hazard. I mean, he's a scary looking bloke. Go check out his picture. He's got tattoos. He's finna mug you or something like that. I don't know. The tease though. I'm gonna walk back to Banana and give it another crack. High-low over on Sandbags. Gonna be hard to dislodge. I'm looking at this flash on vision. That's really what they need. But they want to probably save it for the site, and that might end up backfiring.
High-low for Savage, making it look pretty easy to start things off there, but just enough numbers for Ground Zero to present a bomb plan for Omichella. A 2v1. Difficult to convert here for Omichella, considering his HP. Might have been spotted out there by Shady. Might have not been spotted out there by Shady. So that is now going to make for a winnable round. Omichella, he's giggling watching this. Shady, that Molotov's not going anywhere useful right now, and they've got no idea. Omichella has absolutely bamboozled them. How did he manage this? What a swindle. And that's going to be that. That'll be the round. Well done. Well played by Omichella. Patience paying off as he finds the 2v1 against Shady and Keen.
Yeah, really well played. Just that one angle, not quite cleared out. I think the high-low went quite well for the CT side. Honestly, everything on that retake looked like it was going the way of SemperFi. But that is such a huge 1-on-2. That 1-on-2 resets the economy of SemperFi and really gives Ground Zero a lifeline back into this game.
100%. Yeah, that's just a game of millimeters, really. I feel like Shady only barely would have missed him on the side of his screen there. Now, Ground Zero starting to build on this T-half.
See if they can keep it up. Anti-eco goes very, very well. So we avert our eyes to the next gun round. Does seem like there's going to be enough economy to put together an AWP and a little bit of util here. A little bit lighter of a buy than they've had access to util-wise previously, though. So it should be a little bit easier of a round for Ground Zero to navigate.
Back to the equilibrium being restored. Everybody's got the buy. And so Ground Zero are going to respect SemperFi a little bit more in this round. Slow things down. Molly into car. Won't be too much of a concern for SemperFi. They've got a lot of counter util to essentially negate any value that comes from that Molly for Ground Zero.
As they're pushed away by the Molly. Just fall back to site here, but falling back on what doesn't really look too confident for the CT side. 5 grenades across the whole team. Here's the next wave of util into the site, but PZ catches him with the smoke in hand. The contact play was not something the CTs were ready for. Keen at least able to trade one back, but duels everywhere on the map. Nice lurk out carps there from Apokdud to continue. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Apokdud. He had Omichella on carpet side there. And
it's funny how quickly
pretty comfortable inside the B site. It feels like SemperFi is a little bit too out of position to attempt this retake.
That CT, at least the corpse of it, not looking too comfortable. He's tried to take their wheelbarrow, you know, and he's done a face plant. What could be worse when you're doing the yard work, you know? Savage is going to stick around. They're going to try and make this an expensive round for Ground Zero by the looks of things. I can't imagine they're thinking about finding themselves a win. There's just no time for that. So Savage is just going to try and keep those T's on the side. It does end up being all 5 T's going down. So SemperFi have achieved something in that round at least.
For sure. At the same time, though, does feel like there's legs in this game for Ground Zero. Very competitive on the T side thus far. So hoping for a pretty good series here. Reinvestment does come straight back through from the T side. Apoc had quite a lot of cash there. And once again, with very few players surviving, we end up in another pretty big swing round in round number 9 here. Starting to run out of room in this half. Chance for one of these teams to take a bit more control. Pretty reserved passive approach over on the B side of the map here for SemperFi. Holding a little bit more utility into the early to mid round. It felt like they definitely ran out of util in the mid to late round of the last one. So being a little bit more responsible.
Oh, PZ, good shot. Raw adjustment required there. Addict moving at the speed of light, but not going to be able to move quicker than PZ. Still.
Mate, Pineapple Zip. What a gamer.
That's true. Pineapple Zip. He's like the Flash of Counter-Strike 2 Oceania.
Yeah. Oh, well, he was. I don't know about nowadays. I haven't seen him play in a while.
Well, Molly's going to go down here from Savage. Looks like that rotate's coming through as well from Hazza. So B site well secured for the moment. Savage has been pretty solid as well today. But it's pulled a lot of that CT util. And once again, Ground Zero not committing off of the back of this. So giving SemperFi something to think about. And that's,
I mean, they've done
prompting a movement from Keen.
Really good job denying the info. It is just Keen alone on this A side. Needs to try to deliver on the cross. That was a filthy peek from Apoc Dud. Stepped up onto the corner of the truck there. And the elevation in combination with just perfect crosshair placement. You just have no time to react as Keen there. That is the critical entry. Just wins the round outright here for Ground Zero. And they've won both of these swing rounds here, Jordan.
Yeah, they have. Hazza unable to find the AWP, which she was having a little bit of a look for there in the smoke. And Savage and Hazza are not going to make the mistake that they did earlier on in the half of trying to go for a 2v3 retake on the A site. They now know that this half is not going to be nearly as easy as what it looked like it was going to be for SemperFi.
Definitely not. Money in the next around these 2 rifles. Actually, better than I thought it was. They have actually started to stack up the loss bonus a little bit. So 2 drops over. Should be 5 rifle here for SemperFi. Nice timing taken there by Ground Zero. Able to storm up into brackets off the back of a flash or 2. After some slower play where they boil things down to like the last, 40 seconds or so. It's good to see them kind of mix things up and take a bit more of an early round timing.
Oh, okay. There's a bit more of an early round timing coming through from Keen. This time with the rifle in hand, having an impact. But it's only 1 for 1. I mean, there's a bit of damage being done across the board to Ground Zero, but still not really enough to confirm this round just yet for SemperFi. And they're kind of desperate for a round at this point.
Well, need to convert this 4 on 4 then. Hazza falling back in towards CT. Again, it feels like there's not much information for SemperFi, but they want to kind of rectify that by fighting quite heavily for brackets here. And if nothing happens, I'd imagine they'll go for a bit of a mid-round push down middle or something like that.
As the smoke's getting tossed in, but Savage gets ahead of both of them. It's not going to be much from mid at all for Ground Zero. Now it's just a hapless send out the balcony, and that's not going to work out. So SemperFi back on track. starting to get the ball rolling again. And, you know, they'll obviously be hoping for a 7-5 half, which would have felt pretty disappointing given the start that they had, but now would seem to be quite a reasonable result.
I think they've done pretty well there. It's all like that mid-round timing. Like I said, they were set up so heavily in bracket side that Savage is the one that really goes looking for information, and he peeks out just when Ground Zero are going for that execute. PC, some quicker pace. Straight up banana. Control taken nice and early on here. Hazard unable to punish the swing. It's a great opener. But you can see the CTs are fighting back in kind.
Oh, Addict, this grenade. Oh, he's still got him. Yeah, throw it. There we go. It's going to do so much. Not as much as I thought, but it still does a bit. And by the way, Bomb is in T-spawn, and it seems like SemperFi don't have any idea that Vision's there. They've obviously commed that there's 3 players in Banana, so Vision actually could be good for 2 right here. I mean, he's definitely going to get keen. Depending on the movements of Shady. Ooh, see, this is the thing. Now, does he expect Shady in this position? Surely not. Yep. Oh, no, Shady gets the double before he goes down. I mean, he knew he was a dead man. And Addict is just going to chase him down Banana. That's ballsy from Addict. If he was just sitting anywhere in mid. Big 1v1 coming up here. You talked about the 2 swing rounds that were won already by Ground Zero. Here could be another one.
Could be a big clutch. I think the loss bonus and the money that they've got in the bank account means this won't be a hard reset, but you want every round that you can get here at 5 apiece. Addict getting wigged out a little bit by this smoke next to the cold box, and Vision just tucked into the back of the site.
Addict surely wins these. He knows now, and he's done the damage. All it takes is a headshot, though, from Vision. It's not going to come through. Addict is ever so reliable in these 1v1s. I think, you know, to me, he's probably, dare I say, even maybe not the most reliable player that they have on the team at the moment, SemperFi, but certainly whenever I see Addict in a 1v1 or a 1v2 clutch, I almost kind of give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to win it.
Not super surprising. And that's going to be a 6. Starting to split the difference here for SemperFi. They definitely could have recovered a lot easier than Ground Zero are from losing that round. Not much loss bonus built up for the T side, and you see the effects of that on their money here. Not much util left over. 5 grenades across the entire team. They want to hit this Carp's timing. They've got to burst straight through the Carp swing. There's pressure up Dig in the meanwhile. Shady doesn't know where to look.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. That's seems like a bit of a failure in the setup for SemperFi. This rotation coming through too late. Savage wanted to continue to fight. The nade breaks open the smoke for a shot for Keen. So in the end, it ultimately does look pretty salvageable. But what's going on here? Keen's just full sent it into Omicella. They must not have known where Omicella was. I don't even know. They thought they had him maybe stuck on the site. That was another goofy looking round for SemperFi. And it leaves Hazard in the 1v1 this time.
Another one of your favorite goofy R rounds.
Goofy.
Nice open plant for Omicella. Full set of util here for Hazard. So if Omicella tucked himself in dark or new box, then could be a little bit harder to win this clutch. But I think clearing out spawn side and playing from main should go quite well for him. See if Hazard's going to dump the smoke on the bomb.
He's 5-7 right now. He's not having the greatest of games. Oh, but this time not going to get the option to defuse anyway. So 6-6 will be the scoreline at the half. Certainly leaves a lot to be desired for SemperFi. We'll see if it is going to be enough when we do come back for the second half.
I'll keep up till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm.
Back into the second half here. Scoreline even between SemperFi and Ground Zero. Didn't really feel like that was going to be the case in the 4-1 advantage that SemperFi had at the start of the half, but nice fight back from Ground Zero, and now we'll get to see what they can muster on the CT side.
Yeah, they won themselves some good swing rounds. See if they can keep the game nice and competitive with a team that has been getting one over them pretty regularly. Jump spot in towards second mid. I'm not sure Vision saw anything there. PC going to go looking for information, but does not like what he finds.
Could be another piss around brewing here for SemperFi. The last one super decisive in their favor. This one starts off with a really clean kill from Shady, and then SemperFi just slowing things down, hoping to make Ground Zero stew a little bit, but hasn't pulled out any util, hasn't pulled out a peak. So sooner or later, SemperFi are going to have to get a bit of a move on.
Still plenty of util to convert the rest of this round. 2 belts of it. 3 stack over towards this B side of the map. You've got a smoke in reply here for Apocdud. This could still be a nice hold for Ground Zero.
Damio having a little bit of a crack with those dualies through the smoke. Hasn't landed anything. It's Apocdud that is really copping a beating, but now SemperFi are getting caught in the choke point. Omichella's got himself a couple, and Apocdud also helping out. This is still going to be a bomb plant for SemperFi, so there's something. But Savage has to get some work done with this P250, and it has to be this kill. There it is. Vision going down. All of a sudden, the round could come back. A headshot onto Omichella through the wall. This round has got everything. Savage is literally shitting himself right now as well, by the way. He's got no idea where these CTs are. He's looking all over the place. He's absolutely skitzing out. He's going to try and get the bomb plant down. By the way, that didn't happen earlier. Okay, Apocdud is dead. I don't even know what I'm watching. That piss around was something.
It was. But I'll tell you what, Ground Zero has won it. SemperFi just speeding up into what was a full B stack with a smoke in the choke point, and it felt like they had a good 5 or 10 seconds there to just go, no, this doesn't feel comfortable, let's not proceed. Let's evaluate our other options. And they kept trying to force things. And look, it doesn't go well for them.
Okay, what are we going to see here now from SemperFi? A flash through into brackets, and Keen's able to catch up with Vision. Omichella, oh, he can't see anything. Somehow he's still gotten 2. Keen eventually gets him. I mean, that'll do as far as SemperFi are concerned. Bomb is stuck at pit though, and they don't know about PZ. Now Keen's gonna get caught. Everybody's getting caught all over the place. Shady dead to the grenade. And where's Savage? Well, he's out in mid. So he's not of much use there. He's gonna have to try and convert this one in the 2-on-1, which doesn't seem like it's gonna be too likely now that Apoctad has spotted him out. Ground Zero recover the round.
Looking pretty good so far. Able to deal with what was the tech force buy. It's not a round that they opted to back themselves with in their own last half. Did just opt to take the single save, so kind of opposite approach for SemperFi, and it doesn't really go any better for them than it did for Ground Zero. You now have a much better chance to establish control of their economy, but SemperFi, despite not getting the round done, have put a little bit of economic press on, and they want to maintain that with the Deagles here.
Yeah, Hazard might have to be the one to open it up. This time, not good for one, even though he usually is. So just a bit of, yeah, I mean, I guess a pick and split style here for SemperFi, trying to see if they can find a pick somewhere with those Deagles. It's not really eventuating, and sooner or later, that is, you'd think, going to start to fall apart, but Shady's good for it. Okay.
It's good for a couple. Definitely making a competitive round out of it now. Inside of CT spawn. Shady seeing if he can catch Apoctad on the rotation, but Apoctad just safely tucking himself in the corner. 34 seconds on the clock. Needs to come up huge for Ground Zero, or they're going to lose versus the Pistols. One more player spotted out for him. Addict applying the press. The refire is disgusting.
Okay, and they know exactly where the two remaining CTs are. Savage should be good for all one here. Doesn't actually get the kill, but it will delay Vision. Oh, he's overstepped the mark, though. Vision just watching and waiting, leaves again all of this on the shoulders of Addict. I mean, yes, he's aware that there's two players coming to him from Banana. Gets rid of the first one nice and clean, but what is that movement from Omichelle? He just bounces up over the wall, slides right past Addict's crosshair, and wins another round for Ground Zero. Seems that SemperFi just can't get anything going tonight.
Yeah, but so much damage, man. Just the one player surviving against what was just one belt of utility and a handful of Deagles. Definitely not as clean as you would have wanted it for Ground Zero. And now they are feeling a little bit more fragile, a little bit more susceptible on their CC side. And with the buy coming through for SemperFi, they want to take advantage of it. Good start to close this lead that Ground Zero have established for themselves. Re-establish their dominance here. PZ getting aggressive with the AWP though. It's a nice opener. He was ready for that. Peak day of the week.
Well, you know, I'm starting to feel like maybe Ground Zero is going to win this map.
For sure, they're looking good, man.
And I don't think that's a hot take at this stage. Two players set up for this banana hit. Oh, but Apoctad would not want to get caught with a grenade in hand. The timing actually on the nade's not too bad, but just sticks around a little too long. And so we'll be brought back to the 4-on-4. Damio trying to dump as much util as he's possibly got to build a bit of space for himself. He gets that molly down, then the smoke as well, but SemperFi are not interested. They pull the rotate off of A, and then they go charging over in that direction themselves.
Vision on the off angle. Top side of Porch. Only able to go 1-for-1. That's the A side open for business. PZ not able to catch them on the cross back in. Omichella, nothing to work it with. And unfortunately, going looking for a pick through that Moto smoke ends up backfiring for him. It's just going to have to be the save for Ground Zero now.
Well, that's an unfortunate turn of events for Ground Zero in what could have been a round that would have really established their position on the map.
Don't think you need to hunt down too much here. If you're SemperFi, just be happy with the result of that round. See what you can get done in the next. Not like Ground Zero can comfortably buy around these 2 rifles anyway. It's a good start for them. PC getting the AWP out, but just a couple of really nice timings being taken here by the T's. Chance at a hard reset now for SemperFi. It's a slower start to this round. Seems like some kind of boost happening over here towards middle up over the smoke. Shady was ready for it. Takes the head off of PZ, which means that the AWP falls straight into the hands of Omnichella. So Ground Zero being very responsible. Want to try to recycle some things.
Oh. King gets APOC dud. Addict with a bit of salvaging to do. Wasn't expecting Damio there. Oh, Shady's killed Savage. But he has at least got Damio, and he's also smoked off CT. So Omnichella doesn't actually see him push his way out into B. Vision not quite caught unawares there by Hazza. And so Shady, with only 25 HP, will need to pull off a pretty sick clutch here. And I think he's been heard by Vision right on the back end there as he stepped his way into apartments. Vision has gone hunting. Vision's going to find him. So double digits will be taken by Ground Zero. It is a messy, messy game, but it's working for Ground Zero.
Yeah, the round where they're able to find the opening pick, they can't convert the 5-on-4, but the round where PZ just gets decked 5 seconds into the round, they can make it work. Money good enough, though, for SemperFi to recover from that one. Chance for Ground Zero to seriously close here, though. T-side money will not be good if they win this round. PZ on the line yet again, flashed off. A little bit more of a commitment to fight into Banana. And unfortunately for Savage, just eats a mouthful of napalm there. Not really much that SemperFi can do to rectify that at this point. Does seem like they're going to try to creep up on this banana line. Plus the fading smoke. Util pressure over on brackets from Hazza. There's the retake utility from Damio. Just keeping the T's guessing.
Flash over the top. It's going to try and get SemperFi out into sandbags. It works out in so much as Addict has found the opening pick, but they still need another one. This time Damio doesn't have any util to dump. He's just got to rely on the rifle, and it results in at least a kill, but that might not be enough. It's Hazard that goes down. He feels a little bit expendable in this map of Counter-Strike for SemperFi, so in a 3-on-3, you've got a few guys that are fragging, and this will be a tough retake for Ground Zero, even despite the util they've got.
Gonna juggle a little bit over it. Flash out onto the line. Off from Keen. Could have come up huge for the T's here. Shady tucked into new box. Not quite mollied out though. The molly goes in towards the dark corner, but Shady activating on new box until he's traded out. Just down to Haddock. And there you go. Nade up over the top in combination with the peak onto off to secure it. Omnichella trading one back, but not good enough to get it done.
Did he have the defuse?
Staying alive here.
Did he even have the defuse? It was a 10-second defuse, I think, for Omnichella there. I was wondering, like, because he got off the defuse, and it's like, well, if you're going to get off the defuse, see, he doesn't have a kit here. I don't know if he even had it, because, well, first of all, why would you get off the defuse, right? Like, that's the only way you're going to win the round, is defusing the bomb. So at that point, you've got to just commit. But I actually don't think he might have had it. And that's why he got off. He was like, oh, I may as well take the kill anyway. Like, he realized, I'm not going to get this defuse. I'd have to go back and, like, actually look at it. But either way, SemperFi get themselves a round win.
The force spike comes out in response for Ground Zero, though. I mean, they were kind of in that double eco territory anyway, so Just try to throw the kitchen sink at this round and secure it. Especially with only one player surviving for SemperFi. Both teams still very financially fragile right now. Vision all alone on this A site by himself. Kind of being held together by a carpet smoke and some string and some tape right now. At least PZ's over here now.
Ooh, Alex lined a couple up. Not much to really be said about that one. They may not be expecting a third player here in Banana, but still Addict and Shady make the right decision to not push through that smoke. A double there for Damio could have turned the round back in the favor of Ground Zero.
Damio seeing if he can find a nice timing for himself here. But Addict has just been locked in on this Banana aggression. 5-7s over on this A side of the map. Could do a little bit of damage, but not even allowed to do so. Some sharp entries on in there for SemperFi. And this is where you're getting a little bit worried that Ground Zero are letting this map slip through their fingers. They've won a lot of important swing rounds. They've kept it tight and competitive, but these are the kind of rounds that fill you with confidence that SemperFi is going to get it done. All of those players surviving anti-force now into an anti-eco. Their money on the T side is going to be phenomenal as they even up this game 10 apiece.
Well, big stack here from Ground Zero. They're going to put all of their eggs in the basket of rackets. And it doesn't look like it's going to work out because SemperFi are much more interested in Banana. They're trying to whip up a Banana split, Pilski. When was the last time you had a Banana split? Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
I'm not sure I've ever had one.
Keen ace, by the way.
Anti-eco aces don't count.
I mean, look, an ace is an ace, mate. One clip with the Galil, you'll take it, you know?
Not bad, not bad.
I'm just saying, though, Banana Split is like... I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, Banana Split was like... I feel like it was considered like the go-to dessert, you know what I mean? Like, people would talk about Banana Split with such reverence. It'd be like, oh, we're going to have a Banana Split tonight, you know? Whatever, but...
It's like so basic nowadays.
I don't think I ever had one.
Like, everyone wants their, like, Biscoff and their, you know, douche de louche, all that stuff.
Biscoff Banana Split, that'll be the next thing.
That would actually be goated.
I reckon that would go all right.
That's like going in the direction of like a banoffee pie, you know? I feel like banoffee pie is like the modern era's Banana Split.
I don't know, man.
About it.
I feel like we should just go back to the day where the height of dessert culture was going down to the local Woolies, getting some ice magic, putting it on some ice cream, and cutting a banana in half and sprinkling some Milo on it, you know?
What about going to a restaurant and paying $6 for 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream and chocolate sauce?
Hell yeah.
After your dinner, you know?
That's it. Bit of $20 piece of pudding.
The markup on that is
pudding.
crazy.
It is for sure. By the way, Addict has just been deleted by some grenades. So right as we get in...
It's not the first time that's happened to SemperFi. They've just lost a player to utility inside a banana.
Well, we'll see if they can salvage this one. Oh, that is something. And they're going to go one by one. All right. That round looks like it's kind of just blown up for SemperFi. They had a plan A, and when plan A didn't work, it was like, oh, we'll throw caution to the wind. Okay, that's an interesting flash, actually. It's worked out. Bit of a cheeky one there from Shady.
Potential here. You don't want to throw this round away if you're Ground Zero. Definitely not. Had this one in the bag. Like the mid-round positioning from Vision, though. Could cut them off as they try to cross into second mid.
Oh, if he doesn't get picked off first. Okay, that's good. Well done from Vision. He's actually been pretty impactful in these kinds of moments. I don't know if Savage is really going to be able to get anything done here. That bomb plant will be elusive. 11 to 10. Ground Zero stave off what could have been a reset round. Money was really bad for them there. SemperFi might have just sealed the deal if they won that one, but not going to be the case this time around. A bit of a harder job required for SemperFi tonight.
At least have the money to continue to recover from that. Orps out on the T side now for King. No Orp for Ground Zero. It's been a little bit hit or miss in the openers for PZ. Not much of a keen approach into Banana early on here for SemperFi. They don't want to lose another player to an airstrike if they can avoid it. Bit more of an emphasis on holding bracket here. Just a singular player of APOC Dud. Trying to keep them disinterested in Banana. Push them towards this bracket stack if possible. And it kind of is starting to feel like SemperFi are interested. Addict's creeping his way up middle. There's the jungle smoke.
PZ flashed off, but Vision totally fine. Up on top of Dig Roof. Keen, he can trade one back, but that's just never going to be enough given the circumstances. A poor choice of site for SemperFi this time around. Meanwhile, Savage obviously has taken the B-bomb site, but he did not take the bomb with him, so not going to be able to do too much further in this round.
That's going to be map point here for Ground Zero. Keeping this series pretty competitive for themselves. I'm excited. Hope it goes the distance to all three. Would be good to see a different team than SemperFi through the upper bracket into that final.
Oh, I think you're getting a bit ahead of yourself there, mate. We've still got Ancient and Mirage, even if SemperFi do lose this map.
Bro, I'm just going down my wish list. What's wrong with that? Okay. Looking for a good game here. That's all I'm asking for.
Counter-terrorists win.
So far, it's delivered. Hoping the rest of the series does so too.
Oh, I mean...
Honey is not fantastic, bro.
No.
It should be Ground Zero to take it here.
We'll see. We'll see. Overtime possibility still as well. That was where we found ourselves in the Extreme Sand qualifier. That was a LAN match as well. And that OT did go the way of SemperFi. But Ground Zero definitely looking threatening here on Inferno once again. PZ in position to strike if Savage tries to make anything happen here on his own. There will be a flash. And it is deftly avoided by PZ. Very easily done for him to open the account. SemperFi down to 4.
Pushed away from Banana for now. Starting to creep their way up middle. But you've already got a pretty nice setup here for Ground Zero. Damio will look to harass them in the mid-round if they're not baited in by Omichella.
They don't know about the player in the cutout, so Damio is going to get himself 2. This is looking like it might just be it. It's all on the shoulders of Keen, the in-game leader for SemperFi, having to step up here. It's been a decent map from him, 22 and 14, but this will be a rough ask in the 1-on-2. At the very least, PZ has been tagged down a little bit, and he has been allowed passage up into carpets, although he has been spotted. There's no way PZ's just beelining on this angle if he hasn't already seen Keen. There will be the tap, and there will be the shot, and Ground Zero are going to take map number 1, 13-10. SemperFi with a massive fumble on Inferno. It was looking so great from the outset, but things just started getting real shonky after round number 5, and from there on out, it never really felt like that same SemperFi aura was achieved throughout this map.
Yeah, not quite able to put it together. Did look pretty good at times though, SemperFi, just outdone by Ground Zero, who won themselves a couple of swing rounds and then really started to pull away towards the end of the game there. Not like SemperFi didn't have their opportunities to win this game. It was pretty hotly contested for the majority. Some big swing rounds, as mentioned, and you can even see it in the replays there, some clutches as well. Won by Ground Zero. That T-side pistol was a little bit questionable for SemperFi though, for sure. Does feel like they might be a little switched off tonight, and Ground Zero a good enough team to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I would say good enough team to take advantage of that. Whether or not they take full advantage of it, we'll see if they can convert this series. I think that's obviously the next step here for Ground Zero. I mean, they've suffered a lot of losses at the hands of SemperFi this year. They've played something like 7, 8, 9, 10 series. Let me just quickly count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They've played 11 series. They've lost every single one of them this year to SemperFi. And in those 11 series, they've actually only taken 2 map wins. So the head-to-head right now, 22-2, now 3 for Ground Zero after having picked up this map of Inferno. So I guess the next step is take themselves a series, not just a map. We'll find out whether or not they can do that when we do come back from the break. We'll be back on the second map of Ancient. So see you soon.
The ones who don't just settle for decent elo, but hunger for something more. The ones who don't just queue for another match, but prepare for war. You can doubt them, overlook them, even count them out, but you can't stop them.
Right now, I'm with Dupree, who I can see has got tears.
While others play for fun, they play for legacy. This is ESL League, where challengers take their first step.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, how will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. I can run this town. Don't you know I got the Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And You can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Welcome back on in for ESL Challenger League Oceania. Right now, we have ourselves a game on our hands, Pilskin. You know what it is about us custers. We love a game which is on our hands. 1-0 for Ground Zero. Adds a little bit of a spin to this one that maybe there's a world where SemperFi will be handed their first defeat at the hands of Ground Zero ever. But in saying that, also we're going on to Ancient, which is also SemperFi's map pick, and I think they have about an 80% win rate on this map, or maybe even higher than that. Oh no, it is exactly 80% in the last 3 months. So Ground Zero's going to have to do something special if they're going to find themselves a win on this map.
Let's see if they have the chance to close. We'll be well familiar with this part of the map pool, but going to be very hard to argue with those numbers for SemperFi to be picking up this map and potentially pushing us through to 3. This core of Ground Zero, though, they've played many a game. They're very familiar with this map. You know, across their core, these players are going to know, you know, the basic protocols and all those kind of things. It's just really a question of whether they can peak today and break this pretty crippling loss streak that they have against SemperFi in particular. It would be a good time to do it right at the end of the ECL season here, right before EPL qualification. It's kind of stamping their spot on this tournament and trying to get themselves into the grand final, whereas SemperFi, I mean, this really is a chance to just close a season that has been pretty dominant from them, I would say, you know, outside of, you know, some competition here and there from Rooster that is not really too much about anymore. Like they really just want to secure this EPL qualification if possible.
Well, let's see how it goes. It's going to be the instant mid-smoke out from SemperFi to start things off, and it looks like they are moving very quickly indeed. Damio has his hands full as multiple players jump through the smoke at him. That's a sharp shot from Vision, but you'd imagine he'll be getting a run down here. Smoke out. He's going to try and force SemperFi to run through that. They will opt to go back in towards CT spawn. Omichella, good for one, but now PZ in all sorts of trouble as well. This Glock train strategy from SemperFi working out.
Plant going down. A little bit disjointed on the rotations here. Duel needs to be won by Apocdad, and he's not looking the right way at the right time. His former teammate does put him down. Although, I feel like in the Oz scene at this point, if you go far enough back, most of these guys are former teammates. Vision, a little bit more of a newcomer, but not going to be given any preferential treatment.
Yep.
And that's a pretty clean win for SemperFi on the pistol.
Yeah, I believe Hazard and Addict would have played for sure with Apocdad and PZ. I don't think they've played with Damio. I don't think they've played with Omichella. Savage has definitely played with a couple of those players as well in various iterations. So there's a lot going on.
Vertex boys.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody but Brace is in the server.
Bring back Brace. What happened to Brace? Where did he go?
I don't know.
Just having a break. His name's not Brace anymore. It's Break.
No, that was a different player who aced with a Negev on LAN many a year ago. That's some deep cut lore that most people won't be familiar with. Force Spy on the cards here. Foreground Zero has a spotted out, creeping up the ramp. Won't be given an extra peek.
On plan, easily achieved. Probably not too much to come from this round, as Ground Zero will opt to try and save their weapons. Give it a bit of a crack in the next round. Shady might get away with 1 or 2 here. Omichella is going to go down, so that's one more gun out of the picture in the next round, making life a little easier for SemperFi going forward.
Not really too active on hunting these guns down, just wanting to 100% the economy. Back 10 given over to Keen, though. He's the high HP player. And as such, he will go looking for a couple of these Ground Zero boys saving on the A site. See if we will be able to find any of them. Seems like PZ's going to be first up to bat. But at that range, not really going to be connecting with the Mac 10. Nicely navigated round for SemperFi, just isolating that player over on the B pillar and just pinching him between ramp and cave side. They do look quite comfortable on this map. You can see why they've got such a good strike rate on it.
Well, we'll see how the gun rounds go first before really locking anything in. Remember, Inferno started off very nicely for SemperFi as well. They were up 4-1 at one point. Keen's going to take a little bit of a tickle from that Molotov. So he's a target that's been softened up, which is pretty important for Ground Zero in a round like this one when they're operating with a couple of USPs and not much more than that anyway.
Holding some reactive utility over towards that B side of the map. There's a little bit of util pressure here, but the majority of SemperFi making their way towards middle where there is a little bit of a stack for Ground Zero. Bogdad once again being isolated under a little bit of pressure. In comes the mid crunch. Doesn't really do too much damage to SemperFi though.
Yeah. Not much in this map so far for Ground Zero to get excited about. 1 kill for Omi, 1 kill for Vision. Slow start to the map, that's for sure. Hopefully that's all that it will be. Hopefully it's just a slow start, because if this ends up being a really clean win for SemperFi on Ancient, then we go on to Mirage, ends up being a reverse sweep, I think we'll all be a little bit disappointed walking away from that series. Feels like there's an opportunity on offer here for Ground Zero that's not going to come around too often. And I do hope they can at least make it interesting.
Well, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt as we head into their first gun round here. Orps out for PZ. Same could be said for Keen. He's really been backing himself with this T-side Orp thus far. Is something that he's had to, you know, juggle in and out of for a little bit. Did see Ali coming into the roster, but definitely something that he's comfortable wielding in the past. And he's back on the primary yet again for the boys. Hazard on the lurk over towards shelf side, but it does very much seem like SemperFi are looking for this A timing.
Well, dumping a bit of util to try to disrupt SemperFi. It doesn't really seem like it's... Or disrupt Ground Zero, I should say. It doesn't really seem like it's disrupting Omichella all that much. In fact, he's actually a little bit more concerned about Donut. He's got to be getting some kind of assistance from his teammates, though. Heard that jump from Addict, and he's hit everybody but the guy that's on 1 HP. So, bit of an awkward moment there for Omichella. Apoctad having now gone down as well is probably going to make this a save for Ground Zero. So, again, a pretty standard affair so far from SemperFi.
And that's a round that doesn't really tell you that much as Ground Zero. Like, it's just one of those things where I feel like you could tell the confidence of SemperFi on the map by how kind of basic the approach was and how easy it was for them to convert off of that. Got a lot done with a little, really. Just a cheeky little A side timing. 1 or 2 key pieces of utility is enough to get around, which is already going to condition Ground Zero appropriately and also just leave a lot more depth in their playbook.
Reinvestment to come through for Ground Zero. It's been a very grim map for them, hasn't it? It hasn't felt like they've really had any ability to impact the way that the game has played at all. Even in the first gun round, it was just like SemperFi decided we're going to go A, and then they took A, and then that was that.
They'll take some responsibility for that at some point. Both of the Orpers on some off angles here. Flash to set up Keen. And it does seem like SemperFi want to execute off the back of that. PZ was looking for something over on ramp side, and Addict's taking his head off.
There it goes, and gets even more difficult for Ground Zero as they enter another gun round down a couple of members. They've still got that set up on B. Seems like SemperFi pretty aware of that. Are going to start to put a bit of pressure in onto middle, which is going to pull rotators. And so once again, just slowing things down. SemperFi making this look like child's play on Ancient at the moment.
Should be a pretty easy conversion for them unless you get some kind of god timing here for Omichella. Lines up a couple of them, takes a chunk out of Savage, but Vision and Apoc Dud are on the right side of the map to defend this one.
Apoc Dud always lined up too, but it's not going to matter. Oh, well, that was probably the most exciting moment we've had for Ground Zero so far on the map. But the scoreline still remains 5-0, so SemperFi just putting one foot in front of the other, and that's really all that matters.
Surprised there's enough money to put a bite together here. I guess the loss bonus is very much starting to stack up, though. 0-5. Similar kind of scoreline that you did get to start off Inferno for SemperFi. The difference is, though, that at that point in the game, you did start to see Ground Zero win some important swing rounds. See if they're able to do so this time.
Well, doesn't seem like it. Alex just got himself a double walking his way into the A-bomb site, and it feels like a formality more than anything else. Again, it's just going to have to be another save for Ground Zero. That's another round for SemperFi where Ground Zero just don't even get to play the game. I mean, we're now 6 rounds in, and we've had 6 kills so far for Ground Zero, so they're tracking at 1 kill a round.
That's not going to cut it.
No.
Probably not. Unless you're playing Inferno or something and it's like, oh man, that was a clean entry on B. Time for a full man save. That's when 1 kill a round will get it done for you. Well, not in this game. I mean, they did try to change things up a little bit. Like, that was a 2-man A aggression. Did it work? No, but it was different. Different, not always good, unfortunately.
What do you even say about this game so far? I mean, this is just, yeah, it's like, it's a free round that you're basically giving over to SemperFi at that point. And it's just off of Addict with a sharper aim, you know. It's really not a lot to it. Another force buy out here for Ground Zero, or I don't even know what's going on. Vision's on $200. He's full board. Omichella's kind of half board. Damio's kind of half board. It's just rough across the board at the moment for Ground Zero. They're trying anything and everything. And Apoc Dud charging his way onto lane is at least going to be able to find themselves the opener, but it's just a transition straight over towards the A-bomb site, which is left open at the moment, defended by a USP of PZ alongside Omichella, who was dealt with earlier, and so immediately the round starts to pull back in the direction of SemperFi. Apoc Dud is doing whatever he damn well can in a lot of these rounds, but it just does not seem to be enough. We're back to 2-on-2 though, and maybe Vision can make something happen with that AK. He knows where Savage is. Grenade's going to go out. Savage able to cross. Addict there to back him up and prepared to just take the fight. Flash is going to go through. So too a Molly, and Addict prepared for Damio. Seems like he's all over everything at the moment.
Pretty much. Honestly, I thought Damio had a pretty decent timing there. Addict has even slid off across to the most unreasonable off angle in Red Room. Cannot be faulted right now. 7-0 for SemperFi. And it's not even necessary to do that. Like, we already get it. You're him.
He is him.
9-2 for Addict. Single-handedly has won at least 2 or 3 rounds for SemperFi in this half.
Attack timeout for Ground Zero. I mean, they got another buy, so they definitely need to be having a bit of a chat about how to actually use this to its best effectiveness. I mean, if you're the in-game leader here for Ground Zero, well, what do you even say, though? It's like, oh, don't get killed in A main. 10 seconds into the round. Like, don't get double killed in A main 10 seconds into the round by Addict. I mean, that helps. That's a start. But there's going to need to be a lot more from Ground Zero if they want to find themselves a win on SemperFi.
Let's see what they come up with. I feel like there haven't been many like mid fights in a lot of these rounds. Oh, jiggle peek there from Michela. Almost get caught by the timing peek of Keen, but door shut by the smoke. So any chance of getting a pick with the AWP has been repelled for now. Shady getting active in the middle pretty self-sufficiently. And Savage, oh, that's pressure on Apoc Dud. He's lucky to get away with it.
That's a start. A lot of damage done, though, to Apoc Dud and Vision. And the B site has been left open, which would potentially allow a SemperFi walk up a ramp. I don't necessarily mind Ground Zero trying to get active in the mid-round here. You know, they haven't really been winning in a orthodox fashion. They're not being able to hold on to these bomb sites, but Shady's turned away. He thought he waited long enough for that smoke to fade. In fact, he didn't. I mean, Damio's going to be dead now as a result. Oh, no. Head in your hands, Pilsky. I can hear it in your voice. It's the same thing that keeps on happening for Ground Zero. PZ at least is able to pull one back, but that is the B side taken. Hazard cannot see a damn thing. Good flash there from PZ, but Keen happy to answer it with the AWP of his own. 2-on-2 post plant. Could be an 8th in a row here for SemperFi. Addict has heard Vision close. He's prepared for that fight, and he got on Michela as a fadeaway too. This Addict guy just can do no wrong.
Every single time it feels like a round is about to go against SemperFi, or there's some degree of pushback. Addict is right there to take any hope of winning it away. Another key 2K to basically outright win SemperFi yet another round. Ground Zero gonna buy, because of course they are. They maxed out on the loss bonus, and they just do not feel like they have a hope here. Definitely feels like SemperFi, after letting that last map slip through their fingers, have woken up a little bit on a map they're extremely comfortable on and are starting to just send it.
Safe approach here from SemperFi so far. Bit of a default spread. Bit of map territory being taken, though. They've got mid. More or less got lane. They also have A main, so the options are growing for SemperFi. It's just a question of what the call is going to end up being as far as a finish.
Seems like it's a split through Donut here, and already PZ goes down. That's bad news. Michela with nothing but a Bamis outside of Temple. Needs to come up huge, and 1-for-1 is not going to be good enough. CT smoke and Molly secures it. Don't think you can even think about going for this one. It's Ground Zero.
Nice grenade on Division, which will pretty much seal the deal. You're right, Pilsky. This is going to be a 9th for SemperFi. I mean, they're back in force. They saw what happened on Inferno, and they've decided that they want to make amends for it. And they very much are doing so here on Ancient.
Looking very clean indeed. Damio off angle. Able to trade down Hazard, but not before Hazard takes at least one of those rifles out of their hands. 9-0. I mean, what else is there to say about this game? Excellent T side from SemperFi. And I don't know, there's some moments there for Ground Zero here and there, but whenever it comes down to it, push comes to shove, it's one of these players, usually Addict on SemperFi, that is securing these rounds.
Smoke's gone to Red Room. Not a big concern by the looks of things there for Ground Zero as they charge their way out and take that mid control. No effort in that direction from SemperFi. Very much setting themselves up for a take toward B this time around. Keen. Not going to land the shot through the smoke with that timing. But these two B defenders, we're really feeling it at the moment. Luckily for them, looks like SemperFi are just going to slow things down and back off. So happy to pretty much give up the entire map this round, SemperFi, and now starting to work to retake it. Flash is going to go through for Savage to start to clear out Cave. And he is able to push Apoctad off the line. So small wins for SemperFi slowly but surely, but Damio looking to activate in the mid-round. He's been spotted out by Keen. Savage had a grenade in hand, and Damio able to double down. It's going to be the go signal for the rest of SemperFi to charge their way into the A bomb site, and if they can get a plan, maybe they can still do something here.
3 on 5. Molly going to keep the CTs at bay. It's a nice flash to set up a peak. Continuing to harass our ground zero. They don't want to let them get that bomb down cleanly.
Shady needs to take another aim duel here, and he needs to win it. He knows that he's got to try and thin the numbers a little bit. Hazard has a real chance there for 3. He actually can't quite get the final one, but vision low. He will get the swing that he needs. Oh, 12 HP in it, but ground zero have got their first round of the half. It was way too close for comfort, though. If Hazard would have got that third kill, it was all over. But finally, something for ground zero to be excited about.
Good openers, but the conversion, anything but clean. Really had to work for every single little bit of anything there. Pulled it all the way down to a 1v1. See if they can double up on the CT side. Really just feels like ground zero are trying to scrounge for anything. At least the AWP is there for PZ. Quick mid control. Wanted to see this a little bit more earlier on in the half, and it seems like with some activity over towards A, once again, SemperFi are looking for a timing or looking for a pick over there. Savage on the lurk, though, already finding at least one. Doubles up for himself self-sufficiently.
I mean, this is as good a response as any from SemperFi. Can't be too mad about it. Bomb. Still chilling. Shady's either DC'd or very concerned about mid. He's very concerned about mid. He's now finally on his way. So it's be double digits for SemperFi, and I think there's no doubt at this point that we're going to be heading towards Mirage.
Just trying to hold on to anything that they can here. Ground zero. Into the dying hours of this half. Addict on the hunt. It's continuing to take every rifle away from them. Savage gets the last one as well. Oh man, it's so brutal to watch. Ground zero just getting dismantled. I mean, honestly, watching Inferno, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know how this matchup has been so one-sided, but this game kind of explains everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Inferno was more of an outlier, really. When you look at the match history between these two teams, typically they're actually quite comfortable maps to SemperFi. On the odd occasion, we'll see a map that's close or even won by ground zero. But for the most part, you know, we're talking 13-6s, 13-5s, those kinds of scorelines for SemperFi up against ground zero, and very much kind of heading in that direction, if not maybe even better here for map 2.
Straight up the middle of the map here. Already into red room. 1 minute 20. 3 players posted up on Apoctad, but somehow he's got away with one there.
Still, Addict putting in that work over toward A main is a real thorn in the side for ground zero at the moment. It just seems like they can't stop him. And a reroute through Donut is a good call to be making for SemperFi, assuming they can get there, which they now have. And if they collapse their way in towards this A-bomb site, they'll find that there's actually nobody in that direction. They may not actually end up getting to the A site because all the fighting is happening in mid. There's still one more player there. Eventually, he will be taken down. Shady with a brilliant round to close out the half. 11-1. SemperFi are running right back into this series. Definitely feels as though we are on our way to map number 3 at this stage. Mirage is beckoning. 11-1 in that first half there. SemperFi obviously bouncing back in a dramatic fashion here on Ancient. And I imagine Ground Zero don't have long left on this map, unless maybe this pistol can go their way. There's a few footsteps being heard, and already a nice crossfire actually in cave for SemperFi if this ends up being a B hit.
Yeah, could definitely see one big arm of this push get cut down. Molly going to unsettle some of these CTs as the B-Ramp players are the ones to take contact first, but some good movements here for SemperFi. Already starting to deal with any of that pressure, and everyone on ramp getting dealt with before Vision can really get going outside of cave here.
Yeah, where's he going to go? I mean, he's got to go forward for the bomb. So, should just be up the creek without a paddle, and is 12-1. That is going to be the pistol round for SemperFi, and it's probably going to be the map for them as well. Ground Zero, well, they'll force in, but the best they've got is 2.6 on Vision. So there's really not a very high likelihood they're going to get anything done in this round.
Unfortunately not. And you're not going to be cutting any corners if you're SemperFi, knowing that the force is going to be coming out. Savage has got the XM in hand. be a hell of a weapon to close it with. Seems like Ground Zero just going to try to go for a quicker play towards this B side of the map. Nice and early on here. Oh, the XM and Cheetah, though, looking mighty scary.
Savage. Let's go down early on in the piece. That's going to leave Shady with a little bit too much work to do on his own. He's actually going to be smoked off as well. Will spam away and actually gets Apoc Dud, who just decides to kind of hang around. Attic with some spam through the smoke as well is going to get himself one. Hazza was able to cross, but Keen was not, and that should be the end of PZ. So we're still talking about a numbers advantage right here for SemperFi. Vision's gone straight through the smoke at long, and Hazza gets Damio doing the same down ramp. Well, that's one way to close out the map. 13-1. SemperFi are going to take map number 2. So I guess we don't have too long to wait before we get to Mirage. It's not really too much of a surprise either. Felt like that map was really quite a foregone conclusion, and it really takes all of the wind out of the sails of this series for Ground Zero, who did start well on Inferno. You know, very hard fought map, decent win, and then you come into map 2, and this is what happens. You just get utterly obliterated at every turn. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens on Mirage, Pilsky, but it does feel like this one might already be a bit too far gone for Ground Zero.
Yeah. Trying to have some form of hope, maybe an off map for them, or just one that they're not able to really be too competitive with the SemperFi boys on. See what they come up with on the final map. I mean, there's just really not much to say about that map. It's pretty one-sided affair, all things considered.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, thankfully, we've got the break ready to go, and we'll have Mirage to talk about in a minute. Because like you said, there's not too much there on Ancient. But hopefully, Ground Zero can find a way to reset before we hit map 3, which is coming up right after this.
It's with a dream, with a team you barely know, in an amateur official that feels like the grand final, where practice becomes progress, and every loss feels like a lesson. When will your journey begin?
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. 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 How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. I can run this town. I can run this town. this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
All right, time for map number 3, SemperFi and Ground Zero here in ESL Challenger League Season 50 Oceania Cup number 4. We didn't really expect to be needing a map 3 here, but Ground Zero did the dirty work there on Inferno. And then things went wrong for them. An Ancient, very, very comfortable win for SemperFi. So we find ourselves here on Mirage. It is pretty comfortable territory for SemperFi, one of the maps that they really do have quite a good time on. So imagining that this is probably going to end up being a series victory for SemperFi, but we'll see if Ground Zero can cause any kind of a ruckus on this third and final map. Pilski, as we do get underway with that knife round, I don't think it should matter too much. Mirage, feels like you can really get it done on both sides these days.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. I mean, you're not feeling super confident for Ground Zero. They have at least won themselves the knife round, so we'll see what side they opt to start off on. But look, I mean, they've already kind of defied the odds a little bit today, right? They broke a massive map loss streak against SemperFi in the opening map here. So maybe they can break that series loss streak as well. But after, at least if you look at anything that happened on Ancient, you would really not be feeling confident in that outcome, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for them to keep things a little bit closer this time.
Yeah, me too. I would like to see a contest here on Mirage. You know, if you're going to take me to map 3, if you're going to make me sit here for a decider map, at least make it a good one. Let's see if that will be the case. Ground Zero get themselves a couple of pairs of dualies to start off this pistol round. They have been loving those dualies in the pistols. SemperFi, good old-fashioned A take has started well, spearheaded by Shady. Headshot onto Apoc Dud. One pair of dualies out of the picture already. If not already going back over to the SemperFi lads. Bomb plant down. Meanwhile, Shady continues to deliver.
Yeah, put down by Damio. Hold on. He's getting involved. Off angle from Keen here, swinging big on in with the dualies. Traded by PZ. And now you have these last 2 players for SemperFi tucked away in Palace and Ramp respectively. Is this a full 10-second defuse inside of the smoke? It'll be denied by Addict. He knows he's got some more time to play with here. Should get it done. Is this smoke even going to last long enough for PZ to get that one across the line? I don't think that we're going to need the answers to that question. SemperFi picked themselves up a pistol there really, really nicely. I love the variation that you see nowadays with the smoke to con and molly to jungle. It just gives you so much space to work with over towards top con there. Like, if Damio doesn't deliver 2, it's just going to take the CT so long to get back into that round.
Yeah. Nice entry or 2 there from Shady. Nice clutch from Addict. Very solid stuff for SemperFi. Ground Zero immediately going to force into this one. PC's got himself the scout. Shady will be boosted up to have a look into con. Can't see too much. There's nobody pushing their way into middle this time around. A more passive approach from Ground Zero to start off.
Full retake on that A side of the map. Anticipating some kind of play towards B. And honestly, against the Force Buys and Anti-Ecos, mid-control into a B split primarily through short is not a bad shout most of the time. So I don't mind a little bit more of a lean towards that B side of the map and just leaving A open. A booked up. Spotted it out though. Lucky to be alive.
Very slow approach this time from SemperFi, but they are starting to probe their way forward, taking little pieces of map control. Keen, by the way, up short, finds himself a double entry onto the B bomb site. Now, there is still a Michela, but he'll be spotted out by Hazza, and so that'll be dealt with pretty swiftly. Apoc Dud not going to be able to deny the bomb plan here, and he will be kept busy by Savage for the meanwhile. In fact, taken down in the end. So, second round on the board there for SemperFi. Not much coming from the force of Ground Zero.
You feel like leaning towards the correct side of things, but still not really able to find too many results as results there. Looking at the CTs here, not much on offer. Post the force. Just pistols being purchased up as they look towards round number 4 to finally get things rolling in terms of gun rounds. quick pacing into middle here for SemperFi. Already making their way towards Con. Omichella may look to harass them as they make their way up. But the molly will keep him at bay for now.
Apoctard is in a bit of an unorthodox position here at Tetris, but I think he's been spotted out. Yeah, he has. So that will make for some short work for SemperFi. Bomb's on its way over. Bit of a nothing burger to start Mirage off, unfortunately, for Ground Zero. You know, it's feeling very similar to the starts to the last couple of maps where they just haven't got anything done. They've been a really slow starting team.
Yeah, all 3 maps down at least 0-4, I think, at the start of things. So if they lose the next gun round, it's going to be the same story yet again. Act 10 shut down before it can get a little bit of farmage going. And it's a cheeky little pistol set up here for Ground Zero, but deflected quite easily by SemperFi. So they look to retain 4 rifles heading into round number 4.
Terrorists win.
The glass cannon already going for PZ. Seems to be backing himself with the ult tonight. Have had some pretty mixed success from him with it, though.
Ooh. That's not too shabby. A bit of a tag onto Damio. Would have loved the kill, but, you know, you'll take a bit of a tag at the start of the round. Better than nothing. It seems like we're going to get, you know, sort of a similar approach from SemperFi in a lot of these gun rounds today. It feels as though they've looked to sort of just set up default in a lot of the rounds that we've been watching, play the round out slowly, you know, maybe find a pick here or there, take a slight bit of map control here or there. They're not looking for anything too quick. They're not looking to call out of spawn. Happy to just play the mid rounds and sort of see what happens. And so far in the first couple of gun rounds that we've seen here for SemperFi, that has very much been the case again on Mirage.
Here's the mid-round timing. Smoke 2 window and Con. Molly onto bricks. Looking to deny information to the CTs and maybe take a little bit of a space, drop somebody off inside of ladder room or Con. Majority of the players slipping up ladder though. Or rather, cat into ladder means that it's going to be a beat split. When you lose Keen on the cross there, you start to lose some legs to this push. They're getting cut down in transition. Bomb dropped on catwalk.
Yeah, that'll be the job of Shady to try to retrieve, but I think before he does that, he kind of has to hope that maybe someone else is going to get a pick somewhere, and that will have to come from Addict. He is wrapping in behind, but he's too late to strike onto PZ. Hazard went too early, so Addict has come up with the goods. He's found himself a double. Shady's also retrieved the bomb, but this round is still very much in flux. 16 seconds. Shady needs help to get back to the site. That's a great molly, which will ensure it. And somehow SemperFi have got themselves onto the site with a 2-on-2 post plant, which felt like it was a world away. Shady goes for the swing, backing himself to try to make the hero play. Won't work out. Addict's now solo. Will get the easy kill onto Apoc Dud. Omichella has now been given that cross. Nade out will give him a little bit of tickle, and Addict seems like he's all over this. Omichella had no idea. So another round goes the way of SemperFi, and another clutch for Addict. He just is constantly delivering.
Gotta be so demoralizing being an ex-teammate of Addict's and seeing him on the other side of things in the clutch. Know exactly what he's capable of. You've witnessed it firsthand. Sitting in the passenger seat at times. 4-0 start yet again for the third time here, I think, for SemperFi tonight. Got to be a scoreline that Ground Zero are sick of looking at.
Again, same approach to start off a round for SemperFi. So instead he wins the race from the outset.
CT's look at his flash timing into middle, but it's a hands-off approach from SemperFi. As you mentioned before, they do like to take things slowly, so I think, honestly, even a minute 10 to go for that flash play with the pistols was a little early based on the pacing we've seen from them the majority of this map so far, especially knowing that the T's are anti-eco.
Yeah, almost caught Shady off, though. I mean, this was a very labored spray. He does really well to wrangle it at the back end there. I feel like in a lot of instances I see, Shady get away with something like that where you sort of think like, well, he probably should be dead there, but he is just a bit sharper than a lot of the people that he's playing against here in Oceania. So he kind of gets away with that. And that happens in gun rounds as well. Anyway, 5-0. Excellent start for SemperFi. Reminiscent, of course, of Ancient. We all saw how that went. So Ground Zero need to find a way to stem this tide of rounds that SemperFi have been having.
Quicker play towards the A side of things, at least. Looking for a pick. Not committed by any stretch of the imagination. It is just A pressure, looking to try to pull the rotations across so that these players from underpass can have some impact with the window boost, I'm thinking.
Well, no secrets as to where the Orcs are. Vision, bit of an unorthodox play there from him. It's not going to work out. Tries to go walking through that smoke, and SemperFi are just ripping Ground Zero apart on this A side of the map. And again, the bomb plant, a little bit delayed, but it's kind of just the style that SemperFi are playing here. They are making it work, so can't fault them for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of layered play that we've seen many times work in the past. This A execute utility pressure is something that you have to respect and creates enough of an opening for those players to boost up into window. PZ not allowed to save the AWP. Everything taken away from Ground Zero. And feeling less like Ground Zero and more like Groundhog Day at this point. Another tack timeout. Just got to consider the fact that you've once again got to recover things from a deficit against a team that has battered you. What are we at? Like 9-1, 10-1 in maps or something like that in the head-to-head? Only got their first dub today.
If we go back through the entirety of 2025, coming into this match, it was 22-2. So it would be now 23-3. About to be 24-3.
Oh, man. At what point do you just give up?
Never.
Never.
That's bitch-made energy, bro. Haven't you watched the movies?
It only took Chelios beating me like 4 or 5 times in a row for me to just go, I'm just going to quit, man.
Yeah. Listen, you've never heard winners never win and winners never quit?
I didn't have that kind of inspirational words that I needed. Where were you years ago for me, man?
You could have literally been playing on, FlyQuest right now if you didn't quit. You never know.
There's no way. I was
genuinely never know. Hey, you might have locked in, bro. Don't you ever wonder? Don't you ever think?
Nah, not really.
You could have been the next JKS. I actually remember that's what people were saying about Pilsky when I was casting him in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. They were like, this guy's like the next JKS.
That's cap.
Ivan Pili. He was the GOAT.
Well. So all about these Zoomers these days. I'm pushing 30. I ain't got long left. SemperFi looking to get their 7th on the board here. I mean, you're hoping for even consolation kills at this point for Ground Zero, but they're not even getting those.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, that's the... Damo's trying his best. That's the rough aspect to it. There's just barely even any kills coming through here for Ground you know, looking at the numbers, the stats, they don't look pretty. 1-7, 3-7, 2-7, 1-7, 4-7. Like, it's unfortunately just not cutting the mustard. 11 kills in 7 rounds. It's a slightly better conversion than what we've been seeing on the start of Ancient there for Ground Zero, but not by a long way.
Palace timing going to be taken here at some point for SemperFi. Big commitment to it. The AWP isn't over here though. AWP currently posted up inside of B Apartments. Oh, nice opener. Good timing from Damio. Smoke is going to shut the door on that Palace play. It's a pretty clean opener for Ground Zero. See if they can convert on it.
Well, Shady alongside Keen. Just going to try and work a pick here on B. And Apoc Dud will be the target. He gets himself out window okay. So that's a start. Oh, Vision in jail. Can't afford to overpeak this angle again. Otherwise, Keen will be waiting with that AWP in hand. There's PZ though, onto Shady. So it starts to come together for Ground Zero. It might be that elusive 8th round for SemperFi that doesn't quite get converted. Apoc Dud does drop, but they still have to clear out Vision, and this is not an angle you'll be checking at a time like this. Vision doubling down has done enough to get the round for Ground Zero. They find their first on map 3.
We're waiting for that. Got that nice clean opener inside of Palace and then just trusting a pretty high percentage crossfire. That's a round that's going to restore a little bit of confidence for Ground Zero. Build a little bit of economy as well. You're not complaining about that. But going to need a lot more where that came from, for sure. They want to stay competitive here.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the difficulty as well, hasn't it? Just putting multiple rounds together. It's not as if they didn't have a couple of moments there on Ancient that they could start to turn into something, but they never really did. And here's another potential example of that. As Shady does get that open on to Apoc Dud, there's this massive fight happening on short, but SemperFi have got the numbers there. As long as they hit their shots, they will win it out. Damio trying his best. Is not going to get enough done. And SemperFi with their superior numbers in middle will take control of this round.
This leaves Omnichella on his lonesome. No real information to speak of outside of the fact that mid is a bit of a graveyard. Savage creeping out a ramp. Shady, low HP all the way through the B side of the map. Really, it's just Shady looking for information here and Savage kind of tucking himself into sandwich. There are a few disjointed aim duels for Omnichella on the cards, but if there's any A pressure here at all, nah, they're just going to wait for Shady to secure it. Was a very cheeky play on low HP to just send it all the way through B, but very, very cerebral. Nicely done, just to secure things quite cleanly.
Yep. Right back to square one for Ground Zero. Of course, money's there. They'll buy. But they won't buy a lot. Apoc Dud and Damio both lacking util, FAMAS, and only a single smoke for PZ. So definitely a little bit worse for where that started to collat. Apoc Dud and Damio got collatted, but both survived. I don't think you see that very often. Anyways, let's see what SemperFi do on this A take. Savage opening onto PZ. There's a player spotted out behind default as well. So Omnichella is up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. He will eventually be brought down by Hazard, and slowly but surely this A-side defense comes unstuck again for Ground Zero. This should be a night for SemperFi.
Still players kind of in this neck of the woods, and there hasn't been a full commitment through yet to the A site, so there's some potential here. But the save call is pretty quick, pretty fast. You're definitely lacking some confidence as Ground Zero. And I don't necessarily blame them. SemperFi with a few players looking a little bit worse for wear are taking their time with this one. Don't want to give too many opportunities away, but it's a nice open plant. And with the cash in the bank, surely you go ahead and hunt down these last couple of guns.
Yeah, I mean, you've got so much money. There's no reason not to. But they're just chilling. Keen's having a little bit of a cursory glance, and Savage is starting to make his way now, but this could have definitely been a little bit more of an aggressive hunt from SemperFi. I guess the only thing is maybe they don't want to give AKs over, you know, or an AWP. Not that you'd expect that Shady would be hunting with that AWP anyway. But it doesn't matter, 9-1. I think it is largely irrelevant for SemperFi whether the guns are retained or not at this stage.
I think they're pretty confident that no matter what Ground Zero brings into the next round, they're just going to win it anyway. Maybe more practice against the gun rounds, if anything, on offer there. No AWP on the CT side for them to have access to. Not really too much of a setup towards middle. Very much a 2-1-2 here for the Ground Zero boys. SemperFi looking for a B timing at some point in this round. That's where Vision will have to deliver. Going to drop the smoke and try to buy time over on NBK.
Oh, 1 for 1 thus far. Vision can't hold on for that next kill. So once again, another side defense crumbles. SemperFi are just a bit too well drilled on Mirage, and Ground Zero certainly have some work to do. I don't think it's any real secret that Ground Zero have a relatively handy Inferno. They've been able to push SemperFi a couple of times on that map, but largely the rest of the pool just lets them down. And we're seeing that again tonight. This will be double digits for SemperFi, and you know the way things are going, we're looking at another 11-1 first half.
Off angle from Michela. Going to at least take one with him. But the money, not really an issue for SemperFi here. If anything, you're basically just playing for stats here.
Terrorists win.
Well, a couple of guns go through at least for Ground Zero, but final round of the half. Michela does a good job of holding on. Double AWPs out for Ground Zero. Maybe this was the key all along.
Maybe this is what they were waiting for. Let's try anything at this point. PZ, not quite able to peer up over the top of that ram smoke, and the timing is coming in through mid. And hey, those entries are so bloody clean. That round's over in an instant.
Yep, that'll do it. All right, that was a half of Counter-Strike. I hope you enjoyed it, because the next one's probably not going to be very long. 11-1, we'll take a break and see how the rest of this series plays out. Jumping back into map number 3 here between Ground Zero and SemperFi, and it feels as though it's going very much in the same direction as Ancient, which is bad news for Ground Zero. Map 1 was competitive, it was interesting, it was exciting that we felt we might have a series, but as appears to have been the case over the rest of 2025, we are once again looking at a potential SemperFi victory. Damio has at least opened the account on Tahaza, and that has prompted a bit of an evacuation from the A site from SemperFi.
All those footsteps heard by Omichella can call the rest of the homies back across towards that A site. Does seem like SemperFi hanging around in jungle after no more contact on B. They're getting a little bit suspicious. But Ground Zero just going to simplify things. Is just going to be a pretty clean A execute here. And really only Shady can give them any problems from Ticket here.
Good opener for Vision as well. Pistol in the second half here, starting to come together for Ground Zero. They're actually going to fight for space in CT spawn, which has gone well. I was worried for a second there that the USPs might get a bit of work done, but not going to happen this time around. And so Savage is now solo in a 1v4.
Exits on the cards. There's one. Just working on the bank account. Oh, that is so disgusting, man. Oh, why does he make it look so clean? Apokdub will be the only one to survive. Savage can drop an A1S to one of the other boys if they want to just force and get this game done. Could even go Famous Armor. Nice pistol win though for Ground Zero. Pick over towards that B side of the map. Then just standard right side smokes.
Well, bit of a more difficult start, I guess, for SemperFi in this half, but not the end of the world. Lots of players set up on short. Damio is about to have a rude awakening here. He gets his head popped off. And a bit of a transition here, still towards the B bomb site from Ground Zero. I wonder if they just haven't spotted enough of those CTs off of that kill on Damio to be concerned about this. I mean, this would be crazy if they would walk into that B stack. I'm almost surprised that Keen decides to throw that smoke. Like, if he doesn't throw that smoke, do they walk B? Maybe.
Probably.
It doesn't matter because there's going to be 4 players walking into Vision right now. He's hiding inside that smoke, but time looks like it is not going to favor him, so he'll get turned upon by Keen, who's right behind him with a Galil. Oh, he's got a knife in hand as well, and so there's another one for SemperFi. It'll be a retrievable gun.
Only the bricks. Scurrying up con. Go the rest of Ground Zero. But with a couple of rifles in the hands of SemperFi, this round is far from done. Quick flank in towards Palace here from Shady, and both of the rifles are closing in here on spawn side.
Yeah, it's just a USP from Palace, though. That'll be the only detrimental aspect to that for Shady. Addict also trying to potentially hold this push back into CT spawn with only a USP as well. So chances of this round going the way of SemperFi are still somewhat slim. They need to find a kill pretty quickly. As they're having gone down, it's not going to help the cause, nor for Shady falling as well. They're just not going to be able to get on this defuse. I mean, they've done some good damage. They've made that a difficult round for Ground Zero, but it was reasonably well negotiated by Ground Zero in the end.
Yeah, caught the audible where it was needed. Straight up con into A. AK in the hands of Keen here. Can hand that off to somebody else and buy himself an AWP, and he's even got a pretty decent mid spawn there. Knife gives him the extra plus 1500 that he would not necessarily have gone towards an AWP if he wasn't able to grab that one. This is something that Ground Zero are going to overlook here. Not always ready for an AWP this early on in the half.
Addict is ready for himself to grab a double kill. Once again, just makes it look easy. As soon as the guns go back in the hands of SemperFi, it is a completely different story. Addict is a one-man army tonight. He's 21-6 here on Mirage. I mean, as if he needed to put any more kills on the scoreboard, because he's 37-20 off of the first two maps. So this is going to be an absolutely monster series from Addict.
That's such a cool set play from Ground Zero to open up this round. Quick pacing into middle with a whole bunch of flashes. Molly into ladder on both sides of things, and Addict still comes up with a 3K. I felt like they threw every little piece of utility that they could possibly try to throw to minimize the risk, and it made not a crumb of difference. PZ 1 on 5 has a bit of space outside market here towards MBK. Could be a freebie on Shady. Indeed, it will be. There's a couple of low players here. Ooh. I've seen 1v5s that looked less winnable. I'll just put it that way.
All right. Can he do it? Peasy's got Fortifying. Timer ticking in his favor. Doesn't have too many tools available to him, and he's kind of got himself stuck in an awkward spot here. He absolutely needs this opening kill onto Addict, but he's just going to try and bide his time as much as possible. And as that timer ticks down, this starts to feel like it might be winnable. PZ! Oh, it was so close. If he just didn't pop his head up, he might have had it on that swing. If he swung instead of jumped up onto the barrel, would it have been a difference maker? Maybe. We'll never know. A good effort, though, from PZ.
That was a very winnable 1 on 5. The problem really being the fact that it had to be a 1 on 5 for Ground Zero to get around. Oh, man. Last chance here. Ground Zero, well done to take the opening map pick, and SemperFi just kind of dust themselves off and go into bully mode the next two maps running. Scrounge together whatever you possibly can here for Ground Zero to make anything happen here. Looks like a quick short split.
Oh, Keen gets that opener onto Abogdad, and that starts to be the beginning of the end, I dare say, here for Ground Zero this evening. Once again, Addict onto the kill feed. Gets himself up to 22, which is where he will end this map, as it is now over 13-3. SemperFi pick themselves up what ultimately becomes quite a comfortable series victory in the end. But Ground Zero, you know, they can take away that map from this series and say they were able to achieve something in this matchup that they haven't been able to do in a little while. So you can take that as progress, but it is still going to be quite the sting going down to SemperFi yet again.
Yeah. I mean, it never really gets easier losing to the same team over and over again. I think, man, SemperFi is looking even better than I necessarily remember them to be. Like, I was thinking, you know, with this new team coming in next year, like, it should be, like, some pretty easy dominance for them. But honestly, in the form that SemperFi is in right now, I feel like we're going to have quite a hotly contested region, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think that I'm on board with your change of opinion, if that's where you want to go with it. I think SemperFi is a good team. I do think this is a really, really solid looking SemperFi as well. I feel like they're in a better spot than when they had Ali and Valiance, frankly. I mean, the only thing for me is I feel like, you know, Keen's impact, I almost felt like was a little bit stronger with the rifle than it was with the AWP. But you know, you had a player, in particular for me, like I've been super impressed by Addict in this lineup. Not that I was not impressed by Addict prior to his addition to SemperFi. I think he's always been one of those standout players in the region for the last sort of, well, now probably, what, 3-4 years kind of thing. But he's just been so good in SemperFi now that he's really found his feet. So you put Addict and Shady together. I think that's the two best riflers in Oceania at the moment. Maybe you could throw ASAP in that conversation as well. But you've got, let's say, two of the three best riflers in Oceania in this team that are currently active. And then that's, you know, surrounded by some pretty experienced heads in Savage, Keen, and Hazard. I think Keen's pretty handy on the AWP. as well in comparison to sort of most of the talent that you'll find in Oceania. So yeah, I think it's a pretty tough ask for any team to really be going up against a team like SemperFi in its current iteration. But be very, very interesting to see how things do go next year. Obviously, that's a long way away though, Pilski. We see Ground Zero drop back down to the lower bracket, as you would have seen there on that bracket graphic, and that will be something that we will get to witness tomorrow at the same time in the same place as today. So it'll be Ground Zero and Rooster. We'll be back again to cast that match. We'll be looking forward to it. And of course, until then, we will have to bid you good night. So have a good one and see you tomorrow.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup.